I didn't start baking bread until I watched the Great British Baking Show, and I thought, if that 45-year-old accountant from Sussex can bake ciabatta bread, so can I. And that's what I did. I started baking bread, and now I love to do it. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and I run the blog called Mrs. Midwest. If this is your first time visiting, all my feminine sisters and I are giving you a very warm welcome, and I hope you enjoy your time here. To all my returning subscribers and viewers, you get your extra little hug for tuning in and engaging with these topics and the blog and each other. I'm so happy that you are here. Today we're going to be talking about a pretty highly requested video from all of you, which is how can the average every woman engage with homemaking? Not everybody, especially in 2019, is a housewife or a homemaker. How can you do homemaking if you don't have a home? These are the questions we're going to answer today, and I'm going to share 4 ways you can start homemaking today, even if you don't have a home and even if you're not married. It's important to recognize why we homemake. What is the purpose of it? I really believe that homemaking is about taking your home and your time and elevating it so that you can serve others and so that you can nurture yourself and nurture your own creativity. Does every woman have to homemake? No. This is only for people who want to homemake. So please keep that in mind. I truly believe that you can homemake and make a home for yourself, and you can engage with those skills regardless of your relationship situation or whether or not you're living in an apartment. Homemaking isn't only for people who have a house. It's for you if you're in a dorm room. It's for you if you live with your parents, and it's for you if you're single. It's all about your discretion. You have discretion and wisdom and creativity. So I encourage you, customize these things to fit your lifestyle and engage with them on a level that suits you. So my number 1 tip for homemaking is make your home cozy. You can do this if you're in a dorm room. You can do this if you live at home. You can do this in an apartment. You can do this whatever. A home is not a house. A home is a space that you create for you to thrive in. So how can we make a home cozy? Is it just candles and flowers and throw blankets? And I'm sure you probably know what I'm gonna say, but it's no. Making a home cozy is so much more than candles. It is about cleaning, organizing, creating a space that you can thrive in, and creating habits. When you think of cleaning, it doesn't exactly go hand in hand with the idea of cozy. The idea of something being clean is kind of a cold, sterile. But I cannot imagine feeling cozy in a room that was not also clean. Having order and stepping away from chaos is an important part of making something cozy, because when you want to make a space cozy, you ultimately want to create a place where you can unwind and where you can really relax 100%. And a lot of people cannot relax and cannot unwind in a cluttered environment. And the way I make this type of cleaning fun is I always put on a podcast, a playlist, a show, or a YouTube video to distract myself while I'm purging a messy closet, while I'm organizing the chaos. You know, you can really enjoy cleaning if you distract yourself a little bit, because it can get very overwhelming to approach a messy space. A lot of people don't clean not because they don't want to clean or they're lazy, but because they're overwhelmed by it. So if that's you, if you're overwhelmed by a space, I encourage you to set a timer for 10 minutes and tell yourself, I'm going to start on this space and only clean it for 10 minutes. And I can guarantee you, almost every single time the alarm goes off, you're gonna swipe it away and keep cleaning because you're now invested. That's the important part. If you cannot approach something because it's so overwhelming, just get yourself invested minimally, and then the rewards will be incredible. Keeping a clean environment and making something cozy is a life-giving practice because it will ultimately build your skills, your confidence, and your ability to take responsibility for yourself. The biggest step into being an adult is taking responsibility for yourself, your actions, your space, and your future. And so as you clean, remember that that is really an adult thing. Adults have to do things we don't want to do. That's the secret to being an adult. You get your freedom, but you have to do things you don't want to do. So when you clean, it's you taking responsibility. It's you being an adult. And that's amazing because it shows that you're ready for more things in life. You're ready to take more responsibility on in other areas because you can push through. The second part of this is celebrating the milestones. Celebrate by lighting the candles. Celebrate your cleaning. If you cleaned out that crazy bathroom cupboard that you've been avoiding for a year, celebrate. Put a candle in the bathroom, put a nice playlist on, and sit back and relax because you can celebrate those milestones. The second area of homemaking that every woman, no matter her current life situation, can engage with is cooking. Now, there is one caveat. If you do not have any access to a kitchen, you probably can't do cooking. So this is for people who have access to a kitchen. And this could even be only access when you're home for the summer or home on winter break. But basically, cooking is an important aspect of homemaking. And women in the kitchen have gotten a bad rap in the past, 30, 40, 50 years. Many people say it's oppressive to be in the kitchen. But the thing is, I feel like a lot of that has scared people away from the kitchen and into the arms of the restaurant industry. More restaurants than ever are popping up on every corner, and it's crazy because in the past, a person's entire day was about acquiring food, preparing it, and consuming it because they had to survive. They would wake up, milk the cows, gather the eggs, and make sure that they had what they needed to survive. And they planned almost their entire lives around survival. But now food is a complete afterthought for people. Now it's a question of what restaurant do you want to go to tonight? Where do you want to eat tonight? What do you want to order in for tonight? People don't make food a priority. Partly, yes, I'm sure it's because we don't have as much time anymore. But it's important to recognize that if something is a big priority to you, you can often make time for it. So today I'm encouraging you guys to reevaluate the time you have allotted towards cooking and food and see if you can put any more time towards it. Cooking is an extremely important part of the homemaker's routine because we don't have a ton of money to spend eating out. It's not out of pride that I cook, it's out of necessity. And so if you want to engage with homemaking, if you want to eventually be a homemaker someday, you're going to have to make your budget stretch. And the budget does not stretch eating restaurant food or takeout every single day. And for anybody strapped for time, there are 20-minute recipes out there, 30-minute recipes, but again, maybe reprioritize your life and make cooking more important. Once I began cooking all my food, I was suddenly in charge of my salt intake, my sugar intake, and I was in charge of whether or not I wanted to eat processed foods. Cooking for yourself allows you to be healthier because you can manage what you're consuming, but it's also a very ancient and wonderful ritual from the past that it's worthwhile. It is a worthwhile pursuit to learn how to cook, to engage with the preparation of your food, and to know where your food comes from. So many people I've heard almost brag about the fact that they don't know how to cook, and that's kind of sad to me. Not knowing how to cook isn't something to be proud of. I think it's a skill that everybody should learn how to do. I think if strapped for money and if strapped for resources, many people would benefit from learning how to cook. Cooking and learning how to cook your own food is always going to be cheaper and healthier than eating out for every single meal. So if you want to engage with cooking, view it as an adventure, view it as a money-saving opportunity, and really get into the kitchen and start learning. If you made it through the public school system, you can learn how to cook. cook because you can follow instructions. That's all it is. You know, I think cooking can be intimidating for people and overwhelming, so they avoid it. They avoid the kitchen. And remember, you don't have to be perfect right away. I burn things still, you know, I overboil the stuff, I overcook, Maybe I get distracted in the kitchen now that I'm thinking about this, but I make mistakes and you move forward. And that is okay. You don't have to be Rachel Ray. You don't have to be Julia Child. You just have to show up and try. And that's what homemaking is all about. It's trial and error. I didn't start baking bread until I watched the Great British Baking Show. And I thought, if that 45-year-old accountant from Sussex can bake ciabatta bread, so can I. And that's what I did. I started baking bread and now I love to do it. So I encourage you, do it. Everybody can learn how to cook, and not knowing how to cook isn't something to be proud of. It's something to eradicate. It's not good to not know how to cook. It's important to be resourceful and to be an adult and take responsibility. And that's really what homemaking is all about. It's about taking responsibility in the home to turn the resources you have and to make them into something so much better. All right, the third part of homemaking for the every woman is gaining a hobby, a homemaking hobby. This is absolutely old-fashioned, but it's also absolutely fun. Homemaking hobbies are hobbies that benefit your physical home, you know, by creating art or sewing. They're ways to offer hospitality to people coming to your home, your neighbors. It's about bringing that warmth to your home. These homemaking hobbies obviously should coincide with your interests and talents. There's a reason I haven't started macrame. It's because I don't care. I'm not interested in that. I want to do sewing, specialty baking, and music and gardening. That's where I like to put in my energy. If that's you, figure out how you can garden. You don't have to have a garden. You can have little potted plants in your dorm room or your apartment. And again, scale it for your life. You know, if you spend every evening scrolling on social media or watching Netflix for an hour, try knitting while you're watching your shows, or try spending that time doing other things instead. Take the cooking a little bit further and learn how to bake, and then share that with your neighbors. Host people. Hobbies are wonderful because they are things that you can put your hands to. They're things that you can work with in the moment, and it's something that you can engage with that really brings out that feminine creativity, and it's about creating. I always talk about femininity centering around the idea of creating as we create life. Those hobbies bless the people in your home. They bless you because it's something that you can accomplish. The more you accomplish in your day and life, the more satisfied you're probably going to feel. Remember that when you take time to create with your hands, you're engaging with a practice that has been done for hundreds of years. You don't need a home of your own or a husband to learn how to knit or sew. You can do those things on your own, and they will benefit you first and foremost. All right, the final area of homemaking that every homemaker can engage with is homemaking for you. This is nurturing the homemaker. You're going to have a difficult time homemaking if you're not taking care of yourself. I talk about this a lot, but it's important to nurture yourself along with your home. For some, this might be your health and fitness. It could be your diet. It could be your beauty routine. It could be your spiritual life, your mental life, your heart and emotions, your relationships. Ultimately, you cannot have a warm and inviting home for other people if the homemaker, the woman hosting the people, is agitated, unkempt, unhealthy, and not loving on herself. So when you work on homemaking, remember that it is just as much about creating a home within your body and your spirit as it is creating a physical home. When you learn how to create habits and patterns centered around keeping you nurtured and healthy, not in a selfish way, just in a healthy way, you'll be able to transfer those habits when you have more responsibilities in life. As I always say, if you need an extra layer of mascara to feel confident and challenge the day, do it, okay? It's not something to feel guilty about. Nurturing your beauty, nurturing your spiritual life, nurturing your relationships is going to nurture every other thing in your life because you're going to be thriving. Nurturing yourself is nurturing the ultimate home you have here on earth. Your body and your spirit, those are the vessel through which you are experiencing life. And it's important to keep those areas healthy so that you can then kick butt cleaning out that closet, so you can go approach that recipe, so you can enjoy some downtime knitting because you have your ducks in a row, nurturing your health, nurturing your beauty, nurturing your relationships, your spiritual life, your mental state, etc. As I said in my other videos, everybody else in your life benefits when you take time to nurture yourself, your beauty, your heart, your mind, etc. because they can really engage with you on a positive level because you're going to feel confident, you're going to feel ready to take on the world, and you're going to feel ready to engage with homemaking. Remember, this is all up to you, and it's up to you to customize and enjoy and nurture your life so that you ultimately blossom and the people in your life blossom as well. All right, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please click the like button. It helps other feminine women find us. And as always, if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that red button and click the notification bell so you never miss a new video. If you're hungry for more of this content, please check out my written blog. And if you're interested in my lifestyle and what I do on a day-to-day basis, feel free to follow me on Instagram. I've left my handle up during this entire video. I hope that you all have a wonderful blessed and feminine day.